Good morning. I am parked outside of the Schoolhouse Arts Center, which is right around the corner from my house, because I wanted to talk about something. I just got back from my 12-step group on Sunday morning at 8. Such a good group. And it was interesting that the third step is just sort of where today landed, and it's Easter. So the third step in the 12 step is turned our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand him, her, it, whatever floats your boat. And it was really cool. It's one of my personal favorite steps, because turning my will and my life over to God as I understand him only works for me when what's happening works for me, right? I'm a fair weather faith person. If everything is going the way I think it should in my benevolence, right, then sure, no problem. I'll turn my will and life over to the care of you because I like what's happening. But when I don't like what's happening, then I have all this dysfunction that comes up for me. So if I like to be happy. I like to be happy. I don't like drama, trauma, upset. I want everything to be, rainbows and sparkles on the water, and, the eagle is fun to watch, but he never gets the duck. That's how I like. People are kind and generous, and people do the right thing, and they do things in my timing. If I ask for something to get done, it gets done. I have patience on one side, and I'm also super impatient. I want things now. And when things aren't going my way, if somebody's causing me upset, I'm having to deal with human beings, and human beings are just like me, perfectly imperfect, right? And if I'm having to deal with dysfunction, I get so upset and I obsess. I wake up in the middle of the night. If something is out of my coherence, I've got this wonderful cadence in life. And if something comes along and disrupts that cadence that I've worked so hard to cultivate, then it is like a fly mosquito in a tent, right? At night. It is a mosquito in a tent at night. You hear it, it's going to bite you. You hope it doesn't have malaria, and you hope you're not going to get bit someplace. You're going to have this big thing on your face, and you're slapping yourself, and right? So I take that turning my will and my life over to the care of God back, and I am going to do things my way, and I try to change people and push people to go faster or slower or do the right thing as I see it, right? And I believe if people would just react and respond the way I think they should, because even though I'm godlike and everything, then the world would be a better place. But you know what? It's none of my business. I have a full-time job just trying to keep my own head on straight and do the right thing. Other people, it's none of my business. And sometimes you get in situations where somebody is in your world. It could be, I don't know if any of you have ever lived anywhere where you had a homeowners association. You were on some kind of committee or board, or a working environment, or a neighbor, or, you know, whatever, another parent at a sporting thing. And there's just somebody that just isn't like is out of coherence, you know, with you, like it's clashing. And then I make up I shouldn't be going through it, right? I'm like, I am grieving. I want peace in my world while I grieve. And there's the damn mosquito in the tent. And then the dance begins. So I try to stay in my high self and okay, I'm going to trust. And then my mind is up in the, you know, in the middle of the night. I should do this and this and this and na 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 na, and my heart's pounding and I don't like stress. I don't like Jerry Springer situations. I don't like drama trauma. I want to get that out of my world as soon as possible so I can return to peace. And it's a dance. And it's not like a smooth dance. It's not like, you know, Argentine tango and you're just doing your thing. To me, it's like step class all over again. So everybody is grapevining to the right, and I am literally falling over my own feet 4 steps behind to the left. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. And it's exhausting. It is exhausting to fight my humanity wanting to, you know, rectify something my way versus turning it over, letting it go and surrender. One of the things that's come from a lot of therapy, a lot of life experiences is what I have learned. Just like, you know, when you're a kid, you touch something hot, you get burned, you learn stove is hot, right? But there's also the positive side. When we do things a certain way and there's a positive result eventually, we're like, okay. And what I've learned is when I surrender to surrendering, when I surrender to turning my will, the situation, that person, the timing, you know, whatever, over, eventually things work out better than I ever could have imagined. Thus, on my way home, pulling in to here. There is something that a tool that I love to use. It's called the power of pretending. I love this so much. So as a crazy person, I spiral down. I catastrophize. You know, I don't know if you remember Sanford and Son, but I'm coming to join you, Wheezy. Like, it's very dramatic. Very dramatic. So I go to worst case scenario, you know, it's just who I am. So instead of doing that, my girlfriend Joan called it what if up instead of spiral down. And what if up, I call it the power of pretending. I say, okay, what am I making up? What's the story? And this is very kind of like bastardizing Byron Katie, thework.com, if you want to check it out. So what story am I making up? Oh, it's awful, and this horrible thing is going to happen, and I'm going to die a bag lady, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Okay. How how do I behave when I believe that story? Oh, I'm freaked out, I'm worried, I'm anxious, I'm constricted, even my shoulders are turned in, more migraines, my shoulders are up to my ears, I'm not sleeping, I'm fatigued, I'm not working out the way I should because I'm tired, I'm really not enjoying life. In fact, I'm really worried and upset, and I don't know how to fix it, and I know I must, and I'm just, I'm hyper vigilant, and it's not cool. All right. Well, what if, through the power of turning my will and my life over to the care of God, what if I pretended that there was an invisible higher power that has my back? What if I chose to believe that that power found me adorable, and that higher power loved all my quirkiness and my dramatic catastrophizing and just loves me? What if that higher power loves me, understands me completely, and loves me not in spite of all that, but because of all of those things that make me perfectly imperfectly human, and is behind the scenes, not only setting things in motion it's like chess, right? Like, I'm in the now moment. I want instant gratification. I want peace and calm and grooviness right now. And true chess players are playing a particular move, but they're also thinking like 18 million moves ahead. What if my higher power is like that and is thinking, what is the highest and best thing that can happen for Catherine? And you know what? I'm such a cool God that I'm also thinking about the rest of the people as well. Like, what is the highest and best that can come out of this whole situation? What if I chose to believe that? How would I feel? How would I behave? Well, I would be able to get a good night's sleep. I would be able to work out and get my chores done and spend time consciously present with my dogs and with my friends and family. I'd be able to do things that I enjoy doing. I would just be happy, and I would be kinder to the people in the grocery store and the neighbors, and I would be better driving, and I would feel better. I would behave better. My mind would be better, and I would feel secure and confident and safe, and I would be open to being able to receive creative solutions that I might not have been able to receive in that constricted energy. When I'm an open, expanded energy, new thoughts and ideas and creative solutions can come in. Okay, so is that more in alignment with who I want to be and how I want to show up? Yes. Over time, things have always worked out, and I'll be glad, I hope in this lifetime, probably not, that I don't have to go through the dance. The dance is old and exhausting. I'll be glad when I can just go to trust God and go on. So to me, step 3, turning our will and our lives over to God as we understand Him, is much like salvation. When you accept that Jesus is someone who gave His life so that we don't need to make sacrifices anymore. to win favor with God, that we are saved through the blood of Jesus Christ. If you're a Christian, I am. That's not like okay, I did that. And of course I did mine dramatically. I was at a revival as a runaway. I think I was 13 or 14 years old, a runaway in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, going to the First Church of God, being sexually abused by a few of the men, and still gave my life to Christ, and then did the baptism down by the river, and then got picked up by the police at the church turkey shoot, brought to the juvenile detention center, given a white Bible before I went to the detention center, and then flown home. I told you it was dramatic. So that was my my born again experience. At that moment of going under the water in the river and then back up, that's not a one and done. Life is not a one and done. I dance with surrendering and trusting all the time. Any time that life isn't smooth sailing, that there's difficulties, I have this human urge to tackle, right? To just manhandle, to push that boulder up the hill, man. Sheer strength. I am going to be tenacious, and I'm going to force this situation to be the way I think it should be. And that just doesn't ever work out. But I'm a stupid human, and I keep, every single time something comes up, I go back to that, that way of doing things. And then I do the dance, surrender, take it back, surrender, take it back, surrender, take it back. Welcome to being a human being. Yeah, maybe it's just me. Maybe this isn't the dance that you do, but it's a dance that I do all the time. And sometimes the solution comes quick. God will answer, or something will happen. It'll just be quick. And sometimes there's been times with really, truly difficult situations, truly difficult situations, and it takes weeks, months, or a year, or years. And I'll tell you, surrender so that you can receive, and then following your heart, loving, compassion, generosity, humor, boundaries, and keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. And those times when I send that email, or I take that action, or say stuff, or whatever, that, I'm just trying to get myself out of pain. I'm trying to get to the solution. I'm trying to get to the change. I have never regretted. That's not true. I usually, most of the time, don't regret keeping my mouth shut and not reacting in that panicked place, but waiting for the calm, clear place, and then moving with grace and ease from there. Yeah. It helps to have a friend that you can send that email to, you know, that you wanted to send to somebody else, or just writing it out, and then when it's not windy, catching it on fire and burning it. Like, get it all out. Catch it on fire, let it go. Anyway, all right, so that is my power of pretending. It's going to be a beautiful day today. Happy Easter.